Hello there, people of the internet. My name is Odu Jagero, and this is Dialogues with Jagero. I am with Irene Wonder. We are going to be talking about her life, and she has told me some things that I need clarification on. As you know, Dialogues with Jagero is a place for purely dialogues and getting into deep conversations about life. Since I started Dialogues with Jagero, I have been having a lot of new information, especially about women and the struggles that they go through every other day. Mm-hmm. As a man, it is very difficult to understand these things until you start listening to women each and every day. I have my own concerns with women generally, but having said that, I always say that there is a lot of new information that I was not aware of. And the treatment of women sometimes is not good, you know. So I have Irene. We want to talk about her life, and the three things that we want to talk about is the four men in her life. We want to talk about abortion. We want to talk about, you know, the responsibility of a woman and how she takes care of herself when she thinks that she's slipping into something that is going to either end their lives or completely wreck it. Number 4, we were going to be talking about now that eureka moment that now transforms you into what you've always believed in, the script that has been running in your life, taking control of that and saying, okay, this I think is not the way, the route that I should take. This is not the path that I should take. I should take the other part, the other path, and restore my life. Sindio?
Definitely.
So, you told me to start again. And I was asking you what your Kamba name is, and you told me Kutu, and you also told me Ndanu. Which one is it?
All right, awesome. My Kamba name is Ndanu.
Yeah.
The name was changed while I was around 12 years, getting in my Form 1, which I never really went through. We'll get to talk about that. Yeah, so from my ID, it's Irene Wonder Kutu. Most people find it hard to believe that it's my true name. So I adopted it from that age up until now. But as I've been growing up, I've realized that there was actually no need to dump my name. The tradition, or the one that connects me to my lineage, which is the Kamba name, Danu, which means joy or a happy person. Yeah, so that's basically that.
Let's talk about your life. Where did you grow up?
Wow.
Where were you born? How did you grow up? In a family of how many?
I was born in Thika.
Yeah.
Raised in different towns. I was raised in Matuu. I was raised in Nairobi partly. I've been raised in Masinga. I've also been raised in Mwea. Yeah.
Is there a lot of places?
There are not many.
A lot of places, yeah.
There are lots. Yeah.
Considering that I've only been raised in Nairobi and my shags. Yeah, just 2 places.
Yeah, I've gone through like almost 13 schools because of
13 schools.
Almost. I think if the last time I checked there were 13. I don't know if the number's gone up or low, but I've been at least 13 through 13 institutions. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm born in a family of 2. I'm the first one. I have a sister, younger than me. Yeah, and my dad passed on when I was in class 4. Yeah, he took his life, that is, at that age. Okay, when I was in class 4, all right? So I've been raised majorly by my mom for that other part of my life. I would say my childhood was quite adventurous and full of traumatic moments.
This is in Thika?
In all the places.
I
would say, at what point did I settle? Did I really settle? I think I came to settle from class 6. That was in Masinga. Yeah, all the way now to completing my school. Yeah.
Okay. And tell me about the reason why you were going to 13 schools.
Initially, it was about family issues. My dad was violent. I saw that traumatic moment where parents are fighting, though it was my favorite still, because it gave me the most exposure that I've ever had in my life at that tender age, that formed a big perception of life that after he passed on, I had to juggle through life to just find that life that he had ignited in me. And I would say that is the cause of my continuous hustle, like looking for the savior that he was in my life, which has contributed to now essentially the other parts of the story. So I was born in, as I said, in Thika. The first school was Eden in Matuu. Then we moved to Nairobi. I was in Madaraka Primary School for like a year. Then there were family issues. So we were moved to Kathiani Primary, which is in Ukambani.
Kathiani, yeah.
Not the one in Machakos. There's another one in Mwea.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I went directly to class 2 because coming from Nairobi with the kind of knowledge that the education was definitely a bit higher. So when I went there, I went to class 2. They reconciled when I was getting to class 3. So we came back to, we now moved to Masinga. So in Masinga, I went to Seven Forks Primary School where I did my class 3. Then getting to class 4, that's the time now my dad passed on. So we went back to the village and I did the same school called Kathiani Primary, now class 4. Class 5, my mom took me to a boarding school after my dad passed on. So it was tough for me. I think it was due to the grief and everything I was going through, just getting to accept that my dad had passed on and all that, because I never received any kind of counseling or any kind of information that would help me actually navigate that through that part. So class 5 was tough for me. It was in a school called Wango Boarding. I did class 5 and class 6 one term. Then class 6, I moved to Betty Academy, now living with my mom. My mom was now settled in Masinga, teaching from there. She's a teacher. So I got to Betty Academy, class 6 and 7. Then I transitioned to another school in Siakago. I was in a day school partly. Now that is class 7, class 8, Elas Academy. That's where now I cleared my class 8. Yeah, so as a day scholar, yeah.
How are you growing up as a girl, moving from point A to point B? What was under what lens were you looking at life? Did you have a dream? Did you have a dream of becoming a doctor, a nurse, a pilot? What was your dream as a young girl?
Wow, as a young girl, I loved poetry. So I knew I wanted to be an actress, something to do with art. But when I was in high school, I met a lawyer.
A lawyer?
Yeah. So who inspired me with the element that...
Are we starting to talk about your foreman?
We are kind of getting there.
Yeah.
But in my primary school, I wanted just to be in the media, either doing poetry or something that was putting me out there. Yeah, I used to enjoy watching Caroline Derrito. You remember her? Yeah. Caroline
Derrito, the poet.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're saying, do I remember as if she went somewhere? Where did she go?
I think nowadays she's Nanyuki. I think she still teaches communication. I checked her out recently. I think she has she's in Westlands. I think so. Yeah, I got to work with her later in life. The power of manifestations, the things when you desire things, they have to come by. So I would say I wanted to be in the media. I would say a news anchor was the key thing, but deep down there was poetry boiling within. Yeah, so I would say that's what I wanted to become before I met the lawyer. We showed me the possibility of now combining law with journalism. So yeah, I would say those were my kind of ambitions, but I also wanted to be a great poet like Caroline.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you finished class 8, and you were supposed to be joining school.
Yeah.
Are you having money problems? Because now we want to get into how everything starts. 'Cause
I would say my mom gave us an average life.
Yeah.
My dad had given us a much higher kind of level life.
What was he doing?
My dad used to take us for trips. As a child, those are the things that you call affluence. We would be, on the weekends, we'll do adventure, we'll do trips to Mombasa, we'll he taught me swimming, exposing me to these big restaurants and all. My dad did that. So my mom being a teacher, and that we also moved in a setup that looked like probably a village setup. I felt like my life was cut short. That life that I admired my dad had started off wasn't really available, and it's something I wanted to reach out for. So I wouldn't say there was poverty kind of that would lead me to doing the things that I did. I think it was just coming from that nature of wanting more and having seen that it's possible to have more. That lifestyle change when probably you are in a certain level and then you come down just a little bit and then it feels like it's not enough. Yeah. So I've gone through private schools in my primary to the level that my mom was able to. In my high school, getting to high school, I was admitted at Kadhiani Girls. The reason why I didn't stay there was I didn't want to be in a boarding school. So I did a lot of theatrics and drama so that I could go home, including trying suicide severally. So I wouldn't say there was money issues in a way that I couldn't go through school. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to talk to Irene about I can't get over that thing, that the phraseology, the phrase that you used about your foreman, you know, and you start high school and then a man is introduced into your life. You introduce a man into your life, okay? That script begins to be written.
Yeah.
How did you meet the first man, the lawyer? Yeah.
Amazing. I did not go through Form 1.
Okay, why?
I did one boarding school. And my mom being a teacher and the societal expectations, they were trying to make sure I get to a boarding school. So Form 1, I would say I never went through school. Getting to the Form 2, I had to talk to the principal and promise that I was going to perform to get there. And when I got in my Form 1, when I wasn't in school, I wrote poems.
Yeah.
Several. And I used to also sew pet coats for my mom to sell. So getting to Form 2 now into the day school that I got into, because of my poetry, I became popular. So in the second term, we were having the prize giving day, and this man was the guest for the day. Like,
this is in Form 1?
Yeah, no, in Form 2 now.
In Form 2?
Yes.
Okay.
So he was the guest who was invited, and something told me that he was gonna help me publish my poetry, and I admired the way he drove in. He drove in a Mercedes, very nice suit, and was like, wow, this is the life I want, and this is someone I need to know. Probably there's something I could learn from him and also get my poems published. He was coming from Nairobi and I'm in the village. So I was like, I need to get his contact. So after the prize giving event, I reached out to him and he gave me his card. I was so excited. I went home and told my mom that I got a card from this lawyer. I actually used to call him advocate all through. So my mom told me, you don't call immediately. My auntie was also visiting. They were busy advising me, you don't call immediately, give it 2 weeks. I gave it exactly 2 weeks. And then I called. We had this conversation. He told me usually comes those sides over the weekends. So we planned a meeting. And when we met, I poured my heart out of my life, my dad, how my dad left. It's kind of, I was looking for another dad.
Oh, yeah?
Subconsciously. So
How old do you think he was?
He was 35.
He was really young.
Very young.
Was he handsome?
Yes, To date, he still is. He has never grown old. I think there's something to do with how men take care of themselves, probably. And yeah, so I liked him.
What do you mean you liked him?
I liked him. Like I felt like I wanted to be associated with him in a deeper way. At 16.
In a deeper way?
Yeah.
Sexually?
I just knew I wanted to be his wife. his girlfriend.
You wanted to be his girlfriend?
Yeah, I wanted to be his girlfriend because I had this perception of when the man is rich, when the man is good and stable and able to take care of you, then you have it all. I'd seen from my dad. My dad was living a good life, and my mom, when they were not fighting, she was having the best of lives. So I was like, probably I'm meeting mine quite early. We are going to have a life.
You're such a go-getter.
Yes, I am.
You Katiada an advocate, and you are in Form 2.
I actually remember him asking me what I wanted him to be to me, and I outrightly said my boyfriend.
Shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. I can remember the exact hotel we were at and moment when I said that. And he was like, you got it. And I was like, I got it. Like, he's going to be my boyfriend. And I was like, wow, amazing. And I didn't even know what it means to be a girlfriend and a boyfriend to someone. I'd had boys want me, but I think I'd always thought that people support each other best when they're strong together, when they're
lovers.
Yeah, when they're lovers.
Mm-hmm. And then? So
he visited my mom. Now when said that he was gonna take up my education.
He said so?
Yeah.
When, at what point did he say that? When did he say this?
After 2 weeks, we met, and then when he was coming back again, during those weekends, he came to my mom. So it was the relationship was supposed to be a secret between me and him, but he was gonna go
and say that he's a financial sponsor.
Exactly.
To your mother, yeah. But the boyfriend and the girlfriend would remain between the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So perfect plan.
Yeah, it was perfect, and I was game. I was like, let's do this. So he told my mom about it. My mom invited my aunt just to be sure they are doing the right thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so he said that he likes how dedicated I am to education and all that, how committed I am. And I was going to take up my education to the level that I want to go to, and was like, wow, this is quite an opportunity. And
why did you think it was improper for you to tell your mother that you are getting a new boyfriend?
Because I knew they couldn't understand. I used to think they have, of course, they say when you have a boyfriend at those ages, it's illegal. Like it's not right culturally right, or society in a societal eyes, it's not right to have a boyfriend at that.
So
age.
At 16 in Form 2, you knew what you were doing was sort of starting to walk
15.
on hot coals.
I knew what I want, and I knew he was gonna give me that, and I was willing to go through the journey with him in a secret way and get to my dream. Yeah.
So the relationship starts.
The relationship starts.
Does he kiss you at the hotel?
I think so.
Of course, you remember everything. Come on now.
Yeah, I think we did.
You kissed.
Yeah.
How did it feel? Different? Was it the first kiss? No.
I don't think it was the first one, but it was the first strong kiss. The first strong kiss. Like you're seeing potential, like the person you're feeling like this one we can really go far. But I'm seeing that because of my ambitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
was it sort of rewarding him for all the good things he was supposed to do to you, or all this was mutual? Was it mutual?
It was. He used to have a way of being so calm, collected in a way that you couldn't tell what is going on in his mind.
Yeah.
For a very long time, I used to have this phobia of, I used to feel like he's my dad.
Oh, yeah?
I used to feel, is it the naivety of that moment? I used to feel like he's way superior than me. I need to respect him. I need to behave in a certain way around him. I remember he's the one who exposed me now to these 5-star restaurants and all that. And I could even have a hard time having a meal when I'm with him. So most of the time I had to pack and go eat at home.
Okay. I've got a lot of questions though, but I want to discuss something. There is a lot of that happening, of men taking young girls and taking care of them as if they are fathers, but also getting sexual favors from these girls. Do you think that the girl also enjoys the relationship as much as the man enjoys the relationship? Or do you think that for you as a young girl, it's a duty? Saying no to him touching your boobs or playing with your hair or telling you to have sex with them. Do you think it's out of duty, ama you are also enjoying it?
I would say the way he treated me when I was with him, I didn't feel like it was a duty until the day I had to lose my virginity. I think that was the time now hell broke loose. Like I started viewing him in a different way. I started now realizing what it just happened to me. So the ride, I became emotionally attached, which wasn't able to offer because I was still in school. That's what he used to tell me. I want you to focus on your studies. And then after school, we are going to be together. But I'm already attached to him sexually and emotionally, so I was feeling that gap. So it became more of a torment to me because I can't talk to anyone about it. I'm the only one who knows what is going on. So I would say when I saw him, I will be excited, I will be happy, and then we'll have a great time without feeling like I'm being forced. But the times we were distant, when I was craving for his attention, for him to call me, for me to discuss with him some certain things that I never got that emotional support from him. And I think that was the most challenging bit because I had an opportunity now to think about all the negative things about what was happening to me, like him being older, because I also came to learn he was married. Yeah, so when I learned he was married, and then now we have had this sexual encounter, then we are attached. He's giving me a lot of money. He's bringing me for tuitions in Nairobi when schools close. So he brought in so much with him, and also was taking so much from me in a way that I was somehow feeling indebted. Like I had to be there because I need to go through school. I have to get to campus. I have to do all these things. And I knew it was going to be a bit of a struggle for my mom with her being a teacher. And I could see how much my mom was working so hard to ensure we had everything. She would do all jobs available, including do elections, all those things to ensure that we are taken care of. Yeah. So I would say, as you're saying, it could be. It is fun. It is fun at the same time. It is painful. It is a bittersweet experience, I would say. A
bittersweet experience. I want to go deeper into. Do you remember how the circumstances under which you lost your virginity? What exactly happened?
All right.
Who made the advance? What happened? Did you? I feel like I'm talking to the young girl.
Yeah, you're talking.
I feel like I'm talking to the young girl and not the adult that you are now. So right. What happened that day that you lost your virginity?
What happened is I used to come to Nairobi when schools closed. So it was during the first time that I was coming to Nairobi. I'd actually just finished my stay in Nairobi. I used to stay in Nairobi West. Get a hostel in Nairobi West.
Hostel?
Yeah, I was staying with Strathmore girls.
And how? Why? Where? Why at Strathmore at the hostel?
At the hostel, because I couldn't. Where else? I couldn't live with him.
Also, he was paying for a hostel.
Yeah, he was paying for my hostel and paying for my tuition. So we used to be tuitioned by teachers from Sunshine School.
Oh, I see.
Jonathan Glog. So Nairobi West was the easiest way to get to my tuition place. So after the tuition, that was like 2 weeks. On our way back, when he's getting me home, that's when everything used to happen on our way back home. So we started the journey on a Saturday. And I somehow knew something was going to happen because I was to get home on Sunday. We leave on Saturday, I get home. So my mom knows we are coming on Sunday, but we have left on Saturday. So we go to Embu town. We have dinner. I am all not knowing what is going to happen.
Would you say you are in love? Feeling that feeling of love?
I would say I would say I loved him.
I think you loved him.
Yeah, I loved him. Yes, I did. I would say I loved him because I used to love the way he took care of me. And being at that tender age, you can imagine you're in high school and you're appearing to have more than your level have.
Yeah.
So, and then he was coming to check on me over the weekends when
in
I'm
school.
in the hostel.
The hostel, yes.
And then when he travels home, we would meet up definitely at some point. So I would say I loved him somehow, and that's why it was hurting more when he was not giving me that. It
was a good feeling.
Yeah, it was a good.
So you reached Embu town.
We get to Embu. He was with a friend. We weren't drinking alcohol. He doesn't drink to date. We have a moment, and the night comes. And I know things are going to happen.
Are you expecting things to happen?
Yeah, I was.
Are you looking forward for things to happen?
I was wishing that we could jump that part and get to tomorrow. Like I wasn't sure, I wasn't ready to lose my virginity. But I had to be ready.
What does that mean, you had to be ready?
I had to be ready because I had agreed to it. When we were having conversations, like I had insinuated, like I would be okay with it. And when he was making his plans, we arrived tomorrow. I knew exactly what was going to happen. Yeah. So it was such a painful experience.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. The next day I vomited. It wasn't good. Yeah.
I can imagine that he was an experienced lover, and you had zero experience. I hope that you're enjoying this program. Over the last 15 years, I have been working online for clients in America, in Europe, and all over the world. And that is why it pains me a lot when I see a lot of African brothers and sisters saying that they do not have a job. Now, this is the problem. A lot of people are trying to look for a job in 2024 in their own town, in their local area. Now, the truth is there are no jobs in Africa, at least not so many jobs. The good news is that we have internet these days. We have a tablet, we have a computer, we have a phone, and that means that we can do a lot of jobs, and those jobs are online. That is why over the last 4 years I've been writing a book that is called Digital Goldmine. It is a book that explains to you how you can earn money online. The 18 hustles that I've chosen are basically for Africans, because what happens when you are doing online jobs is that payment is usually a problem. So these 18 side hustles that I have put together in this book, you can be paid very well and very conveniently. Okay, so the book is only 1,000 Kenya shillings. That is about $10. You can buy it in Kenya using paybill number. You can buy it online from anywhere in the world using a credit or a debit card. All the information about this book is in the description below. And if you have a brother, you have a wife, you have a husband, you have a friend who is sitting at home and watching Netflix, please do buy this book for them. If you are the one sitting at home and watching Netflix and have nothing to do, please buy this book and your life is gonna change forever. Because I have been doing this online and I've been traveling and I've been enjoying myself and having a lot of fun. So thank you very much, and now back to programming. Do you mind if I asked you what happens when you have sex the first time as a woman when you're a virgin? What happens? Is it true that... I don't want to ask this question.
Just ask.
What exactly happened? Because I hear that there is a lot of bleeding. And I'm not sure how the man now responds to this bleeding.
To be sincere, I think I was too fearful and timid. That was for me to take care of. Do I remember seeing? Definitely there was blood, but I don't remember even us having that conversation. It was for me to deal with. Like, I felt the pain, of course, through because of the penetration and all that.
Yeah.
But I knew it was normal to feel pain for the first time. But we never even got to talk about it. So it was for me to carry. And I think probably that's why I don't even recollect the tiny bits, because it's something I wanted to just get it off as soon as possible. Yeah.
You wanted to jump over that?
Yeah, I wanted to jump over that.
Did he use protection?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand. Mm-hmm. How does the relationship progress after the
encounter?
Yes.
So he would come over the weekends as usual, because he had built those sites. That's where his home is. So we would meet over the weekends, but sometimes we would meet quite late. I would get that anxious moment when he's coming. Sometimes he will say he's coming, he's not coming. So
he bought you a phone?
Yeah, he bought me a phone. Yeah, he bought me a Sony Ericsson phone at that time, and we used to communicate.
Did you sex text?
Never.
It was classical, traditional.
Yeah, it was very traditional. He actually played a role of a father more when it comes to telling me, be careful. Even when he was bringing me to Nairobi for the first time, I remember the talk as we were entering Nairobi, be careful, Nairobi is it's a hole. You can get in and not be able to get out. So he played more of that role. So there's so much that I did. I also hid from him, because I also felt like he was more of a parent to some level. Though I yearned for that closeness. You get the one you have with a lover, someone you've already had intercourse with. But it was always not there. Like, it was more of, we have the moment, and then what do you need? Whatever you need is provided. School fees, books, what?
Everything.
Yeah, everything is gone.
What was your relationship? What was your feelings for him after he broke your virginity? Did it change in a way? Did it change for the better? Did it change for the worse? Did you love him more? Or what happened?
After he broke my virginity, that's the time I started having now the bittersweet moment, because when he did not respond to me when I needed him to respond, I would feel so much hate, and I would feel like he took advantage of me, something that was so precious. Probably I needed to be with someone of my age. But when he was available, somehow that could get washed off, the excitement and all. So I would say our relationship, we grew a bit. He put me distant it was intentional for him. He intentionally put me at a bay, because he wanted me to focus in school, which wasn't working for me. So all through I used to tell him, I don't feel you available. I tried to talk to him. He would not answer my calls.
Really?
Yeah, for quite some time.
For days, or he will call later? He was in court. You didn't know that?
He kept saying he's in court. He kept saying he's in court. He was always in court.
He was always in court.
He was always in court.
Oh my God!
Golfing over the weekend, and you know, when you're golfing, you can't have your phone.
Yeah, you leave it at the desk.
Yeah, so I was left to fend for my emotions.
Did you need him a lot? Would you say, looking back, did you say that you needed him more than you should have needed him day in, day out?
Of course, I needed him more. But what I did, I supplemented him now. So because I knew he wasn't available for me emotionally, and I was craving for emotional connection, now I had a boyfriend that I could even fund from his money.
Amen. That you could even fund?
Yeah, I could even
fund. You became a sugar mommy?
Yeah, I had a boyfriend who was in JKUAT. So
you're the one paying all the bills?
No, not all the bills, but when I visited, I could. I didn't know he was using me as well. he could speak of he doesn't have this and that, and I have idle money, so I would.
Where was he thinking that you were getting this money?
He knew.
Damn.
All my boyfriends knew that I have this lawyer guy that is permanent, and you just need to bear for a moment.
Men can always share a woman without any guilt, right?
I think when they're not emotionally invested in you,
they can for the sex.
For the sex, and I think that's basically what I was getting. Well, looking at the emotional connection, but I don't know, naively thinking that you can tell a boyfriend, because I thought a boyfriend who is emotionally connected to you should be able to understand what you're going through. Because you're not able to pay my school fees, right? Are you able to pay my school fees? No. Are you able to bring me for tuitions in Nairobi? No. Are you able to bridge that gap? No. So I expected my boyfriend to understand that I have this person that I also have to see, because this and this is happening, and you just need to bear with me for a moment. I just finished my high school, then we can have our happy ever after where I'm done with school, and yeah.
Do you think that he suspected that you are, at some point, did he suspect that you're having other boys around?
He has never. That man trusted me with all his life. He never at any point, even today, actually, if we had this,
He'll be shocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do things progress from here?
Yeah, so
you finish school, all money coming from him.
So when I met him now, in my high school, Form 1, I told you I never went. I've done one Form 1 exam.
Yeah.
Form 2, I met him in my second term. Then that weekend, I lost my virginity. During that holiday, I lost my grandfather. So we were to go home. I was to delay opening school. So the day that he's dropping me home, and already someone had gone to school to say I would open schools are late, we meet with my then principal, driving in, like we are driving out, and he's driving in where we were having breakfast. It was a Discovery car I was in. I don't know whether the screen was dark or not, but after that, when I went back to school, I had a feeling that the principal had seen me.
With him from a hotel?
Yeah, where we were having our breakfast. So the event happened in Embu. Then
you got into an eatery in a Discovery Range Rover?
Yeah. That was my life. We were either we were either in a Discovery, or we are in a Subaru, or in a Benz. So those were.
How many cars did he have?
I think he had more than 5.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think there was a dream of me getting one.
Did you ever ask him for one?
Yes, I did.
What did he say?
That was to happen after my school.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair enough, right?
Fair enough. I was patient. I was like, the man is not going anywhere.
Before I forget, I want to ask you a question. Your mother, your teachers, because I believe that it is the school that invited this gentleman to come and give a speech or whatever, correct? And then you were presenting, I don't know whether it was a poem or something.
A poem, yeah.
Yeah? And then the school later realizes that there is now a relationship between you and the guy, right?
Let me explain that part.
Okay.
How they came to learn.
Okay.
Remember, I've told you we were driving out and he was driving in.
Yes.
And I reported to school 2 weeks late because of my grandfather's burial.
Yeah.
So the principal was adamant I do a punishment, because he said he hadn't been given any information that I was gonna report late, and he's feeling like I didn't want to do open exams.
Yes.
So there was a pull and push where I even had to go to court for me to go through school, because the principal was kind of expelling me and not really expelling me.
Yeah.
So at 16, there is a time my story was on paper when the order was out by Justice Alwatch. So that's how they knew that he was in my life. That's how now the school knew that there was this lawyer now who is doing all this for me, because now he had to be in court with the principal.
He was the one representing you.
Yes, is the one actually who told me, Irene, this is too much. If they're not ready to let you in school, it's your right to be in school. What we have followed all the processes that they were saying we follow. So at this point, let me show you. So it was on Thursday, and on Friday, when he told me, Irene, let me handle this from here. On Friday, it's on radio, it's on the paper, and Justice Aluoch had given an order. I go back to school unconditionally. So that's the time they knew each other. So my life in school became difficult. Because
you were the one who took the school to court.
Yes, and it's a Mbehere school. It's a village Mbehere school, and we are around like 4 Kambas in the entire school. My class teacher is the sister to the principal.
I like it when you come very close to the microphone like that. Can you push your chair a little bit in? Yes.
My class teacher.
Her face is not blocked, right?
No, it's not blocked.
Okay.
So my class teacher is the sister to the principal. My CRE teacher is the girlfriend to the principal. So I would raise my hand in class and no one would even ask me questions. So it was so tough. But interestingly, the principal was transferred and we got a new...
because of this?
Yeah.
Because of this whole situation and scenario, yeah?
I don't know, but I believe so.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah. So when that happened, I got a deputy who was now my friend, who we would even talk about my boyfriends.
Including the lawyer?
Yeah.
Did he ask you, you're the one who intimated to him that that he's your boyfriend?
Yeah, I told her. We were close. She drew me close. She was not in the village kind of mindset.
Yeah.
So she had taught in Nairobi and had that exposure, so she could understand me. So we could have conversations, and that way I was able to be in check. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. How does it progress? You at this point that you're being taken to court, you're in form?
Form 2, it was the same year I met the lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Form 3, because I'm coming to Nairobi, my grades are now going on well. And in Form 4, Form 3 now, that's when the first pregnancy happens. Yeah, then in Form 4, that's now when I meet the guy who was gonna take over from him.
Oh my God. Okay, that's a lot to take in. Yeah. So how does the pregnancy happen?
So just in those escapades, and now
he dropped using the condom.
Yeah, he dropped using it, and I also wanted to experience without, and we took the pill. It never worked. Yeah, so I realized I'm pregnant when I miss my periods, because I knew what I had done, so I was very conscious. Because I knew there was no way I was going to carry this pregnancy to term. I was still in school. I didn't want to...
Form 3?
Yeah, Form 3. I didn't want to embarrass my mother, being she's a teacher, and the societal kind of eyes on her, the village people and all that. So I knew in any way if I was pregnant, it's something I had to deal with at the earliest opportunity. So I tracked myself closely. And when I confirmed, I told him, and he assured me that he knew of how best to handle the situation. And he got in touch he sent me to, I think he still does them to date. I don't know if it's an issue if I mentioned them. They still
Maristops?
No. Dr. Nyamu?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a horrific process.
How do they do it?
First, there's counseling that you have to do with him. He'll do you checks. There's a scan to check the age and everything. Then there's the conversation. the risk factors and all that. Then you're ushered now into the room. The most horrific part about it was seeing other girls there, older than me.
Older in pregnancy or older than yourself?
Older than myself. And I'm like, where am I? For a moment, I was like, where is this place? In those gowns, hospital gowns. I'd never been admitted to hospital or having to wear those. So I'm like, it looks like it didn't feel so good. So they did the DYC thing. It's called DYC or what? What is it called?
I don't even know what.
There's a D, something with a D something.
Yeah.
So the spanners, the things that look like this, they call those things.
Yes.
Those cold metals going through you and performing the whole process, and the cramping, and then the tears, and everyone is like, why are you crying? And I'm like, where is this? Someone is asking me why I'm crying. Like it was like business as usual for them. And I'm like, how did I even get here? So it was that moment of my mom no one knows where I am at. So I felt alone. I felt abandoned. I felt it was bad.
They don't show you anything that comes out of you.
Sorry, no, not at all. And at 3 weeks, it's basically blood, I might say. Yeah, so that was that.
And then they keep you in the ward or you send you home immediately?
You're given a resting place for
a couple of hours.
Yeah, then when you feel ready, you leave.
Where did you go to?
So he took me to a hotel to rest. He was having his meetings, I love meetings.
He's in court. Let's just say he was in court.
Yeah, he was.
Never came and cuddled with you, nothing.
So he put me in a hotel. Then he told me we'll be back. Order what you want. So sit there, wait for me to come so that he could take me home.
The same day?
Yeah.
He did not let you rest the night?
Medicine. No, it was on Saturday. Yeah, I came to Nairobi on Saturday. The procedure was done the same day. And the same day after he had put me in that room, he was done with these court manenos. Yeah, he came pick me. We passed by the chemist. He got me the antibiotics.
That was written on the paper?
Yeah. And he took me home.
Home to your mother?
Yeah.
To the village?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to hide my medicine and everything and go through the week. Monday I was in school. I was a school girl. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Monday I was in school as if nothing happened. No one needed to have known that, yeah.
The relationship goes on?
The relationship goes on. So actually that day, I think I go home with 10K.
What year is this?
That was 08.
2008?
Yeah.
You were given 10,000?
Yeah. I always had a float of around 10K.
Shit.
Yeah. I remember I used to put in my suitcase in my bedroom. I always had a float.
Dude, 1,000 was a lot in 2008.
Yeah.
It's a good life.
It was a good life. I would dress like working people over the weekends. I would come to Nairobi over the weekend. I would have that money, I would say, enabled me to just feel abundant in ways that I related with.
There's a question I wanted to ask you that I forgot. Your mother is not seeing the pattern.
How?
She's not seeing the clothes.
Which one? The
one
that is buying me.
Yeah.
He said he's sponsoring my life. So if I have, actually, what my mom doesn't know is that I have cash, but I tell him he gives me money to buy clothes. So he doesn't have an issue. She expects, like, he's my sponsor. So if I ask money for clothes, he was treating me like his daughter, according to my mom. So I was free to ask for money for clothes. I would get that, yeah.
At no point did your mother suspect anything?
If she ever did, she never mentioned it to me. And at no point did she ever insinuate like there's something she's noticing.
Was she happy that, oh my God, he has taken such a huge burden off my shoulders?
Definitely. Actually, she got benefits as well because we got electricity installed in our house.
This was Irene. Men can do a lot to a woman.
Yeah.
They love or they get sexual favors from, right?
Yeah, a lot.
What do you think about this thing? Because even as we speak, there are women that are having this kind of life.
Right now, yes. They're selling their souls.
That's what you're going to say?
Yeah.
They're selling their souls?
And they're going to pay for it.
Really?
Yeah. You're selling your soul if you're doing it right now.
Are you selling your soul or you're selling your body?
You're selling your soul. Why I say you're selling your soul is that the things that you are doing, as much as your body is the one engaging, your soul is not in alignment, and you're convincing yourself that it is okay to justify where you are at, but it still doesn't feel good. Ask anyone. It still doesn't feel good. It always doesn't feel right. When you are alone in your own space, you have the money, you have the environment, but still there's that emptiness because your soul is gone. It's with someone else. And there is so much spirituality around it or energy conversation around it as to why even men will prefer younger women who are yet to have mental maturity to make those decisions.
Do you consider this to have been an abuse?
For the longest, I used to defend it and say that I asked him to be my boyfriend. Like I altered that part where I said, I would like you to be my boyfriend. I used to feel like, why do you say I was abused while I'm the one who told him that he could be my boyfriend? But right now, looking back, I would say, yes, it was abuse because you knew my mentor, my mind wasn't built enough. You knew exactly what I was looking for. As a 35-year-old, you know what I was looking for, right?
Yeah.
You know, this girl wants security. You know, she wants to go through school. You know, those are the kind of things she needs. And you have the choice to decide, am I going to offer this to her and support her just like my daughter and see her succeed? Because that is exactly what I was looking for. Or am I going to look at her body or also pay myself in the process and have a good time with? It's still a choice.
Pay myself in the process. That's unbelievable. Oh my God.
That is paying yourself.
Oh my God.
Such that even if you never get paid back your money, you have paid yourself already. You took something more valuable than the money. Actually, you as a person, what I know is that you're more valuable than even the little cash that you get, that most women get swindled with.
The audience, I hope that you're enjoying this story. This story is, I think it is, I'm going to be still talking with her about so many issues. Okay, so if this man would have gotten into your life and did everything that he did without paying himself, do you think you'd not have pushed him to sleep with you?
I would never have pushed him to sleep with me because I had a boyfriend he didn't have the money to take care of me and all that. But at some point he had wanted that. And the other day I was seeing letters that I had even written to him and telling him that I cannot give you my body. I cannot. It's not yet time until marriage. I used to tell him that. So what I know is that the ideal me was until marriage. Until now, the circumstance shows up. And actually, the reason why I gave in was because he promised marriage.
Who?
The lawyer, he used to tell me that I'm going to be his wife. Before now, I realized that when I learned he was married, now I started asking myself, am I ready to become a second wife? So
how did you learn that he had a wife?
I asked him.
Why did you ask him?
Because he wasn't saying it, and looking at how his life was seemingly looking like, I felt like he should be married, but I was hoping he wasn't. So he told me, yes, I'm married, but that shouldn't bother you. I'm going to still be with you.
You believed him?
100%. So I knew I was actually, the other reason I was attaching myself with him is that he had some certain level of influence in that area, like those sides of home. And he will be invited for Harambe, like as a guest. So I was also seeing an opportunity where I would go with him when he's going to these functions and also present my poems. Yeah.
It's pretty complicated.
Very complicated.
How? So you are in Form 3. You get pregnant. There is an abortion. You continue the relationship.
Yeah. Then in Form 4,
yeah,
it happens again. I think in Form 3 it happened twice.
You went to this doctor twice.
I've been to that doctor thrice. Yeah, thrice. The first one was painful and all that. When the second one happened,
with the same lawyer.
Yeah, with the same lawyer.
In Form 4.
I think either there's a year that I think Form 4 Form 3 was the first one. Then there was that gap. Then in my Form 4, I think second term. Then the others happened, and I still went back to Nyamu, who was also wanting to me. He also wanted to have me as well. Yeah.
You know, right now I'm looking at you. You're very beautiful. I can only imagine some 5-10 years ago.
I had a body that wasn't looking my age. My body was mature more than my age.
How did this doctor want you?
Wow, actually he put me in a situation. He actually almost, I would say if it happened, that would have been rape, because I was staying in the hostels, as I mentioned. So we had started talking after, of course, he has seen me once in his office the second time. So we used to talk from time to time. So this time I'm in Nairobi, at the hostel. He sent someone to come pick me. So I'm excited, and I tell
pick
my
you
friend,
what for?
We go have lunch. So I invite my friend, my cousin actually. I tell her, let's go have lunch. At that age, you are looking at free lunch. You are enjoying the exposure.
But you have money from the lawyer. What's wrong with you?
But the lawyer is not dining with me. The lawyer is just giving me the money. His time is scarce. He's not available. You have the money, but you don't have that connection.
This is what happens with women who you put a lot of money in their hands and they still go around with other men, and you're wondering what is going on. There is no time. You're not giving them time. You're giving them the money and no time.
Yeah, you're not giving them the emotional connection they need. You're not feeding a woman thrives where she's acknowledged emotionally and appreciated, because we are emotional beings. Like, we are a dance of beautiful emotions, and that's why you hear when you treat a woman right, you get the best. But because she'll definitely give you back what you're giving her. If you feed her positive vibes, you definitely get that. But when you abandon, reject her, or show that you're not available for her, you're definitely gonna get some venom.
So you go for lunch with a gentleman.
So actually, I didn't know where we were being taken to. I was picked at the hostel. My cousin was picked in town. Do you know where we went to? Karen, to his home.
He didn't have a wife and children?
That time he had divorced. He wasn't married. Now I believe he's my friend on Facebook, and I see he has really moved on. He actually he's doing great for himself. So he didn't have, he was divorced, and I think he was still going through that phase of overcoming the divorce and all that. Yeah, so we get to his house, a very big, beautiful house. I'm like, wow, this is, I've not seen this before. With that timid kind of mind. So he starts telling me, we go to the bedroom, it's the better place. I was like, no, I cannot go in there. And somehow, I think the situation got better because my cousin was with me. So after he was showing me how he's getting messages from ladies, just to show what I'm losing out on. And I was like, it's okay. It's okay. So
did you have lunch? Did you eat?
At his house? Yes. We ate, but yeah.
He was disappointed.
Yeah, he was disappointed, of course. And I think I now started, if I got to know a lady who really wanted a man of that level, I would I would give them
a free pass.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens with the lawyer after this? There's the fourth abortion in.
So when the fourth abortion, not the fourth, the third, there were only 3. When that happens, by the time I was in Form 4, I was kind of clear somehow that I was going to end this relationship after my Form 4. I was feeling like I'm not ready to go on that way because...
Which way?
That I have a boyfriend I don't have. I have a man and I don't have, so I'm having to look for someone else to give me that emotional connection, and they're also disappointing me. The guy was the campus guy ended up
the one you were bankrolling. I remember
that guy ended up disappointing me. Yeah, and I was like.
You're getting frustrated with the
waiting for to be married after school, like
okay.
To be given the emotional connection after school. So in my Form 4 now, that term after the pregnancies and all that, in my that term, when we close school, the second term, so that we can open now into the that term to do the exams, that's when I met now the number 2. He was a celebrity. He is a celebrity to date.